Thank you for coming to our Soap Making Basics class today. You are taking some important steps towards a more healthy and sustainable lifestyle, which will benefit not only you, but your family. Hello, my name is Sonja, and I am with Heaven Sent Holistic Health, a holistic lifestyle education ministry. Today I will be teaching you how to make your own beautiful homemade soap using the traditional cold process method. We will be making a basic unscented soap. Besides cold process, there are many other types of soap making which are discussed in the electronic book resource on this DVD. The first thing you want to do is find a good recipe. You can find many good recipes online in your local library or a bookstore, and you can also look on the electronic book resource on this DVD for some recipes, resources, and even a soap making calculator to help you get started. At this point, just like cooking recipe, you will want to assemble your tools, ingredients, and soap mold. First of all, you want to take your soap mold and line it. Here I have taken a wooden soap mold and lined it with a trash bag. You can also line them with freezer paper or parchment paper. There are many different types of molds that you can use, and you will find that also in the electronic book resource. It's upside down, honey. The first thing you want to do is assemble your tools. Some of these tools and equipment are probably already in your kitchen, or you can find them at a thrift store or a dollar store. The first thing you want to have is a glass cooking pot, preferably 5 to 8 quarts, depending on the size of your soap batch. You want it to be bigger than your soap batch.
Don't use aluminum.
You will not want to use aluminum because that will interfere with the soap making process. The second thing you'd need to have is a large Pyrex measuring cup. You will want to have a couple of measuring cups, glass and plastic, also ramekins, and these are going to be used also for putting your essential oils in. You will also need to have some metal measuring spoons to measure your essential oils, a digital or manual scale. I have just a plain old postal scale here, and it works fine for me. Digital scales are a little more accurate, so whatever you prefer. Also, you will need a stick blender and a thermometer. You can use a candy thermometer, or you can use a turkey thermometer. You'll need a variety of spoons, rubber spatulas, a ladle. We won't be using the ladle today. That's more for doing swirling effects in the soap, which you can find out more about that in the resource along with this video. And then lastly, you will want to have paper towels or dishcloth or something of that sort to make sure that you can clean up spills right away. Now, I want to talk a little bit about safety. When you're using lye, or what is called sodium hydroxide, it is caustic and it is also harmful, and it can burn your skin. You want to make sure that you are using the equipment that is going to keep you from getting hurt. You want to use rubber gloves. Rubber gloves you can get in the store as dishwashing gloves or chemical gloves. Another thing you would want to use is goggles. I do have glasses on, so I'm going to use those instead, but you would use the goggles to keep from getting anything in your eyes. And you want to make sure you have long sleeves, and also an apron on to make sure that you don't get anything on your clothing. Another tip for using lye is you want to make sure that you pour your lye into your water, not the other way around. If you do this, you may end up with some very detrimental effects, and don't ask me how I know this. Now, to make your lye solution, what you're going to do is you're going to measure out your lye in a pitcher, like so. And for the purposes of this video, I've already measured out everything ahead of time. And you would measure your lye, and then you would also measure your water, making sure that your scale is zeroed out each time for accuracy. And I've already made the lye solution, so it's right here. And you want to do that first because lye, when you add the lye to the water, it can get up to 250 degrees. And you want it to cool down to about 100 to 105 degrees before we can even make soap. So that's the first thing you want to do, is to make the lye solution. The second thing you want to do is measure out your oils. Now, for the purposes of this video again, I have already measured out and heated and melted the coconut and palm oil, which are the solid oils. And you want to do that first. And then the second thing you want to do is measure out your liquid oils, and this is olive oil. I've already pre-measured it. So again, you would zero out your scale and you would measure your oils. Now, since this is already melted, I'm going to go ahead and pour the liquid oil into the solid oils. And using my spatula, I will make sure I get every little drop out. Okay. And since I've already heated this, just wanted to go over a little bit about heating the oils. You want to, again, do the solid oils first, and then you want to do your liquid oils. You want to get the solid oils to about 110 degrees, and then put your liquid oil in there, and it'll get it down to about 100 degrees. Now, the next thing we're going to do is combine the lye solution with the oil. And how we do this is we take our stick blender and we put it into the oil first. Then we press the stick blender like so, and we start to pour the liquid lye solution in a little bit at a time. And you will see as we blend this, it starts to get cloudy and it starts to get thicker. And since we're doing such a small batch, it won't take long at all. One little thing I want to mention is if you weren't using a stick blender and you were using just a spoon, it could take up to 2 hours. So I'm so thankful for modern technology. So we're going to continue to mix this together until it comes to trace, which is basically the consistency of pancake batter. And it'll start to kind of get thick here and kind of float to the top when you drip it on the top. Okay. The next thing we want to do is pour our soap into our mold. And like I said, we've already got it ready. Before we do that though, since we're making an unscented batch of soap, I'm not going to add anything to this, but if you wanted to add some fragrance, colorants, or any kind of botanicals like rose leaves or clay or anything like that, you could do that at this point. But since we are not going to do anything but a unscented bar of soap, we're not going to add anything to it. But you can look into the resource that's with this, this DVD, and you will find more information on how to do that. So we're going to take our mold and we're going to pour our soap into it very carefully. And again, we want to use our spatula to get every drop as far as possible. Okay. Now, if the soap is a little thick and it gets, you know, it needs to be smoothed out, you can smooth it with the spatula like this. And you can also tap it gently on the counter to get any bubbles out. And this will make sure that you have a smooth bar of soap. And then we're going to cover it with a towel. And when we do this, this is going to start the curing process, and we want to let it sit for 24 hours. And when we do that in the morning, well, 24 hours from now, it will be solid, and we will take it out of the mold and cut it into bars. At that point, we will let it cure for 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the type of oil that you're using. If you're using softer oils, more softer oils, then it's going to take a little bit longer. If you're using harder oils, it won't take as long. So 2 to 4 weeks is approximate. Well, that's basic soap making. I hope that you have found this video very helpful, and I hope that you'll be on the lookout for our newest videos, including advanced soap making, how to make herbal teas, decoctions, infusions, and tinctures, and also do-it-yourself lotions, salves, and lip balms. And we thank you so much for coming today, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.